props here on PrizePicks for Thursday, May 25th. Before I get started, there is a link in the description below. You can sign up for PrizePicks there. 100% deposit match by using that link or promo code TUFF. Discord link in the description. We got the main server is completely free. Patreon link in there as well, where I post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. Again, I do need to mention as well, I'm not a gambling expert, and this is not financial advice. This is simply just the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to then make your own player prop decisions here. Again, no one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourself. But let's get into it, you guys. We got the Miami Heat, Boston Celtics here. We have the crucial Game 5 in this series back at home in Boston. Should be a very, very interesting one. I believe Boston's actually like 8-point favorites in this game, but the spreads in the actual results for these games, I mean, it's been crazy, the difference. So I'm expecting a close game here. I don't think Miami's just going to come out and get blown out in this matchup. There is going to be no Gabe Vincent, but I don't think it's going to affect Miami as much as people think. I think Caleb Martin slides into that starting lineup, gives them a bigger, more defensive presence, even in that starting lineup, more than Gabe Vincent. So hopefully we can get a close game here. I got two plays that I am targeting. We obviously have the Jokic free square here, but I'm honestly not going to play that until we know who the finals matchup is, and I'm going to play it for the finals. I'm not really into adding the free squares into. I like adding the free square into slips where all the teams are playing together. But let's get into it, you guys. I got two plays that I'm targeting here. Yeah, we've been on a nice run NBA. I think we're like on a 10-2 run as far as NBA plays here on YouTube. So let's go. First one is going to be Jimmy Butler over 51 fantasy score here. I got to ride with Jimmy without Gabe Vincent here tonight. But let's talk about a few things. So Jimmy Butler, right, in the previous two series, Game 5 on the roads, right, he went to Milwaukee in a Game 5. In that Game 5 on the road, had 61.6 fantasy, shot the ball 33 times, had 5 turnovers here, but 42, 8, and 4, 2 steals, and 1 block here for Jimmy Butler. 61.6 fantasy, and then played in that Game 5 against the Knicks and had 57.9 fantasy and only scored 19 points, 19-7, 9 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. Only shot 12 field goal attempts and still finished with 57.9. So in both series before this one, on the road in Game 5, has cleared the over on this pretty easily for Jimmy Butler. No Gabe Vincent here. Gabe Vincent in one game this season when Jimmy Butler's played 36-plus minutes without Gabe Vincent, obviously against a horrible Houston team, he still finished with 59.5 fantasy, 20, 10, and 7, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. Obviously, it's going to give him a little bit more responsibility on the defensive end as far as guarding the perimeter without Gabe Vincent, because Gabe Vincent is, at the end of the day, a very solid perimeter defender. We take a look at Miami, though. Jimmy Butler without Gabe Vincent on the floor here. This is over the last 20 games. In 259.5 minute sample size, Jimmy Butler does average 29.8 points per game per 36, 5.7 rebounds, 5.8 assists, about 2.2 stocks here, but 33.1% usage. 49.5 fantasy points per 36 minutes. Obviously, we could see Jimmy Butler play 40-plus minutes tonight in a close game. 1.4 fantasy points per minute, which is a little bit higher than actually what he's averaging over the last 5 games. Over the last 5 games, 1.3 fantasy points per minute player. But going back to Jimmy here, he averages 1.4 fantasy points per minute, which is actually, if we take a look at just the differential per 36 for Jimmy, without Gabe Vincent on the floor, he averages 0.1 more fantasy points per minute and 2.6 more fantasy points per game, and sees a 5% usage bump here without, which is actually one of the higher usage bumps as far as players that get significant minutes. Besides Kevin Love, I mean, 5.0 usage percentage bump with Gabe Vincent off the floor here. We take a look at some odds as well. He's over 41.5 PRA, minus 135 on DraftKings, minus 120 on BetMGM. So a little bit juice on the over here for his PRA. I think Jimmy Butler coming out, trying to play to win this game. They don't want to go back to Miami. Could be scary, right? If Boston loses this, Miami loses this game, to go back to Miami where Boston just beat them, only up 3-2, and then Game 7, anything can happen here. So I think Jimmy Butler comes out, plays aggressive. He's obviously gonna have the ball in his hand a little bit more without Gabe Vincent on the floor here. And then again, I think just a better shooter on the floor as well with Caleb Martin, who's been shooting lights out from 3, should help Jimmy Butler with some assists, and also help takes a little bit of defensive pressure off Jimmy for him to focus a little bit more offensively in this game. So I like Jimmy Butler over 51 fantasy score here tonight. And then the second play from Boston, we're going to go with Marcus Smart over 9.5 rebounds plus assists here in this game. So just on the season, we take a look at Marcus Smart this season at home. He does average around 9.6 RA at home already this season. So, I mean, we're looking at Marcus Smart right around his season average at home. We take a look at Marcus Smart's rebounds plus assists game log this season, including the playoffs. Versus Miami, he has hit this in 2 of 4 games. He had 12 RA at home in that game 1 with only 1 rebound, 11 assists here. So again, like I said, he could easily just hit this with assists potentially. He had 7 RA in game 2 at home, which was somewhat of, actually definitely a blowout. He only played 33 minutes in Miami. Boston shot the ball horribly across the board. Had 17 RA in game 3 in a loss in only 30 minutes. Had 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and then had 9 RA in 35 minutes here against Miami. Against Miami on the road. But it's pretty much hit this in every other playoff game over his last 8 games or so. 10, 14, 12, and 17 are his 4 overs over these last couple of playoff games here. But you can see here, I mean, in the series against Atlanta, he hit this in 3 straight games, 2 games at home, 14, then 11 RA. We know Marcus Smart has the ability to hit the over on this pretty easily, especially in significant minutes. We take a look at Marcus Smart's rebounds plus assists game log in elimination games in his career. I mean, prior to these last 2 elimination games, he had hit the over on this in 8 straight elimination games in his career throughout the playoffs. 16, 10, 11, 12, 17, 14, 15, and 14 RA for Marcus Smart here. He's a hustle type of player. Someone who's going to leave it all on the floor, potentially grab more rebounds here. I think we take a look at some odds for Marcus Smart, right? The odds to go over 9.5 RA, I mean, minus 144 on FanDuel, minus 131 on Caesars, minus 130 on DraftKings. I mean, the juice is on the over here. We look at Marcus Smart's head-to-head this season against Miami as well. Pretty much every game he's hit the over on this or come close. We take a look, even just dating back to this earlier this season, 8, 14, 12, 12, 7, 17, and 9. So this season alone, he has hit the over on this in 4 of 6 games this season against Miami. We take a look at the odds here as well. He's over 5.5 assists, minus 165 to go over 5.5 assists. So pretty much great odds to hit at least 6 assists tonight. And then he's also minus 125 to go over 3.5 rebounds here. I think with what's going on with Malcolm Brogdon in his elbow injury, I think we can see Marcus Smart just staying on the floor a little bit longer. Obviously, Malcolm Brogdon's minutes have been getting reduced, and it came out that he does have some sort of elbow injury here. And then in this series, right through 4 games, Marcus Smart is averaging 9.8 potential assists, converting 7 of those, and then also averaging 6.3 rebounding chances, converting 4.3 rebounds per game. So in the series, I mean, he's averaging 7 and 4, so we're looking at 11.3 RA is what Marcus Smart is averaging in this series. All we need tonight is 10. He's looking at 6.3 plus 9.8. We're looking at, close to 17 RA chances. All we need is 10 here as well tonight. Again, he could hit 8 to 9 assists tonight pretty easily at home, where teams shoot much, much better. I like Marcus Smart over 9.5 RA. As well here in this play. So these are the 2 plays here for this YouTube video. Again, let me know in the comments below if you guys are tailing. Again, also need to mention you guys don't need to pair this into 2-man power if you don't like it. If you like one play, don't like the other. I'm pairing it in 2-man power for reference to show you guys, the results and things afterwards. But nonetheless, these are the 2 plays here that I like tonight. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 2. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.